Going for a 4-4-2.
He didn't know what was going on in the room.
Elias managed to refrain from swearing.
He said, if you've got a problem with me, let's sort it out in the gym.
He's exactly the same with our lot. The thing is...
Come on! Where has that come from?
Yeah.
They brought through the door. You know, look at the...
What a performance! The guys.
That was ruled off. Quite stupid things like that.
Live from Style Space at the Supporters Club. Right.
But he was getting a bit tired, I thought.
Come on! There we go! Come on! Come on!
Yeah! Go!
If only our faces were similar.
Can't hear you, mate.
You not hear me now? Why is it doing this every time?
There you go. You're right now. That's better. Yeah.
As if only our reactions were the same as that video that you just saw at the end. However, they are not. Just witnessed West Ham get beat 1-0 at home to Everton. And is that Champions League flame disappearing right in front of our eyes? Depends on the way you look at it. However, we're still in it. We're still there. There's still an option. But anyway, let's get into it. West Ham 0, Everton 1. Still, mates, what a crap game.
Really awful to watch. Awful to try and commentate on. Not a shot on target. We had a golden opportunity early in the first half. Was it the first half? The Benrahma header? I lost count.
Yeah, end of the first half. Yes.
And had that gone in, it would have been a completely different game. It was. I said it during the watch along that was the way Everton played. Fair credit to them. They defended. They got a goal, breakaway goal. But the way they played was the way Moyes set us up when he first came back to make sure that we didn't get relegated. It was turgid, but it was effective. And it was, disappointing, really. We didn't turn up.
West Ham, that's actually David Moyes' highest possession in the Premier League game by a David Moyes side since his game in 2014 when he managed Manchester United versus Fulham with 68.8%. And that really kind of just lets you know exactly how the game went. Everton defended for the lives and done a job really over David Moyes, didn't he?
Well, it's like I just said at the end of the Matchday Live. Moyes got out-Moyesed, right? Ancelotti done his homework, right? And he saw the way we played against Burnley last week and we were tearing them apart through the middle, right? And he went, we can't let that happen. So he changed formation. He literally utterly ripped it up, made 3 or 4 changes from the team last week, put 3 centre-backs in, 3 big bully centre-backs, and then put 3 in midfield. He put 2 out-and-out holders and 1 sort of compact playmaker. And went, I'm going to stick with a rigid 3 in the midfield, 3 at the back, 2 wing-backs. I'm going to leave 2 guys right up the pitch so you can't overcommit because we're going to hit on the counter. And you're going to have to go wide and put balls in, right? And with only Antonio on the pitch, because we couldn't overcommit, Soucek couldn't get forward, and they won everything. They got their tactics spot on. I said at the end of it, I've had games where we've sat here after games, especially at the start of the season and the middle of the season, when we're like, Moyes got this wrong, Moyes got that wrong, the teams, they weren't trying, it was rubbish, and we're angry, right? I can't be angry today because we played well. Everton were just stifled everything. You could sit there and be mad maybe that Everton were too defensive, but they were game plan. And they got the points for it.
Let me cut you short there. Right, let's go right back to the beginning. Let's look at the starting 11. We'll dissect the game as we go along. But West Ham putting out the same starting 11, unchanged still from last week. Were you happy with that?
Yeah, you can't say that you wouldn't be happy because, as we said before the game started today, that Moyes does what Moyes does. He doesn't want to change a winning team, and rightly so. I said it was a big statement to make to the squad rather than certain players, because people are sort of speculating, if Declan's back or if this is back, if that player's back, etc. So and so will get dropped and so on and so forth. So the fact that he didn't change it suggested to those players, I trust you. You did it. You did it in the game against Burnley, so you're going to go out and do it again against Everton. So I would have been more surprised. The only change that people were talking about, and I still have an issue on this, the only change that people were talking about was Ogbonna to come back in for Diop. Honestly, I know what you two guys think, but I would have played, if Ogbonna had been fit, I would have played Diop and Ogbonna. In fact, and I think there's a comment here, which I actually do agree with, Claret Newham, I actually agree with that. I think Ogbonna and Balbuena are our two best central defenders over Diop and Dawson at the moment. I
But
really
the thing,
do
though,
think
is
that.
still, I mean, I know we're going to dissect the game. However, I mean, we only got beat 1-0 today, and I can't really fault
Don't
any
matter
of
how
our...
many. It don't matter how many goals we get beat by, Anton. We got beat.
No, but the point is, though, I think if you're generically saying that defence was our problem today, which in my opinion it wasn't.
It wasn't.
It wasn't at all.
No, it wasn't
And-
it wasn't just the defence. We didn't
I
have
don't
a
even
shoulder
know
pass.
if the defence were. I don't even know if defence were at fault for really anything today. To be honest,
The
because
only
when you
thing
think
I'll
of
say-
Matt and I
apart
were
from the
that
one goal,
statement,
apart from
Matt
the,
and I
the
were
goal,
discussing this before we came on here, and I said I blame Dawson for that goal. Matt said he gives him a third of the blame. He reckons that our positioning was
our
also
positioning was wrong. Yeah,
our positioning and like Diop's positioning, and also Fabianski not diving. So I think, in all honesty, I think if Balbuena had been on the pitch, I do think he's a better defender. I don't think that would have gone in.
the point I'm trying to make, though, the point.
Balbuena's a tougher defender.
Yeah,
and
the
I
only
don't
problem I
think
got with that is he's out the door.
I know that, mate. I know that.
So what's the point?
Fan player.
What's
But
the
then
point?
the other problem,
At the
the
end
other
of the
problem,
season,
the other
you
problem
know?
you've got with that, though, is you've got a player who's firing on all cylinders this season, Calvert-Lewin, and it's going to take a lot of a very, very good defender to stop him having that one chance in the game, which is what he's done. And I just don't think it's the route. I don't think today's the route for defence, to be honest. Today's the route for having such an attacking side and not being able to get through that final third, not being able to create, not being able to penetrate their defence. And everything points in the direction of Everton's defensive style today. They kept West Ham out. We had no chance of breaking through their team. I mean, listen, we saw Everton's lineup. We had an Everton fan on beforehand. They came out. They changed a few things. They weren't massively excited. But you can't deny for a second, it's as if after watching that game, Ancelotti knew what he was doing. He was going to shut up shop completely. They played most of the game with 8 men behind the ball and tried their best. They slowed the game down in that comment there. Everton done a number on us today. We were too slow passing. But on top of that, Everton's style was slow today. And West Ham didn't know how to react to that.
It was intentional. They a lot of teams are now waking up to the fact that we like playing like Burnley last week. That was like a basketball game. It was literally open, pacey, end to end, right? And if you look at the players they've got, Everton can't compete with that. So you try and compete and you lose, or you try and find a way to stop it. Ancelotti went, you know what, we can't compete with that. How are we going to stop it? I'm going to put 5 at the back, 3 in the midfield. You're going to have to try and break through them. I'm going to leave 2 up front, and they're going to try and do damage to you on the counter. And it's literally exactly what happened.
Yeah, absolutely. Still, you picked up very early on, mate, that Antonio was playing out wide and it was frustrating you. Talk to me about that, mate.
Yeah, because last week against Burnley, the way we set ourselves up, the players who were playing out wide were doing all the running that we normally see Antonio doing when he plays up front. And it meant that Antonio could stay in the middle of the park and he got 2 goals. Whereas today, we kept seeing Antonio go up, picking the ball up, going out wide. Now I know, I don't think it's look disappointed. I get disappointed every time we lose, mate. But yeah, I think today, all right. I know. Everton played 3 at the back, and as Matt said, Lingard is still a player for 70 minutes maximum. Same Lanzini and Benrahma. Loan them to Slavia Prague for 6 months, and they will change for real.
If we can have Simmer back in the other direction.
I know they played 3 at the back, and you needed to stretch them. I know Dan was saying that you need to stretch them, etc. That should have been Lingard's job and Ben Rama's job and Fornal's job, etc. To get up there and stretch them, rather than seeing Antonio yet again going out and playing out wide, picking up the ball, and one or two. Actually, if there was a player that crossed the ball decently today, it was Antonio. And guess what? There was no one in the middle of the park to pick it up. That's what frustrates me when I see Antonio having to go and pick the ball out wide. That means there's no centre forward in the box to pick anything up. And it was really, really, really disappointing to see that. Whereas last week we got it right and we had Ben Rama doing the running and Soufal overlapping on the right side and all that stuff. We didn't see any of that today. We saw Antonio constantly going out and picking the ball up wide.
You talk about that.
Hold on a second, Matt. Just like last week though against Burnley, we were slow to start, but I don't think we were massively slow to start in the first 20 minutes. It was just a kind of half-hearted game, not any real chances. I think Everton had their between West Ham and Everton before Everton's goal. No team had actually had a shot at goal. And that's what happened in the 24th minute when that ball was slipped through from Godfrey through to Calvert-Lewin, who slotted the ball past Fabianski. 1-0 to Everton. And at that point, like the Burnley game last week, I thought that would be the rocket up West Ham's arse to get us moving forward, but it really didn't happen, did it still?
No, it didn't. It was and the irony is we've become accustomed in the last few games where even if we go a goal down, we're going, it's all right. This is the new West Ham. We're in it. There was no creativity. There didn't even seem to be any energy or no drive to try and find a way. I know it's frustrating when you're playing against a team that's got all 10 players behind the ball. It is difficult, but then maybe like Matt alluded to, maybe then it should have been a different game. Maybe we should have started to think about trying not to play through them because it wasn't working. This game
was the first time I felt in a long time that you could see we lacked a centre forward.
Yeah.
You said there about Antonio going wide.
Yeah.
That's not a problem because Richarlison and Calvert-Lewin were taking turns doing that. The problem is that you didn't have an actual centre forward alongside Antonio. If you have it alongside him, Antonio drifts wide, he's still one in the middle. That's what Everton were doing to us. They left two up front in Richarlison and a Calvert-Lewin. One would drift wide to drag the play, one would stay in the middle. But that's you can't blame Moyes for that because we haven't got centre forward. Well,
hang on a minute. Lanzini came off early and Bowen came on, and we thought, right, he's going to play Bowen a lot closer to Antonio. He didn't do it. And then he made a change in the second half, brought Yarmolenko on, and we went, right, Yarmolenko's going to play a lot closer to Antonio. Didn't do it. So it's not that you can't blame Moyes for it. You can maybe say Moyes had two opportunities to change our formation in order to counter. There was one striker against three central defenders.
But again, neither of them are centre forwards.
Well, I know that guys, they can play.
Do a job. I mean, an actual out-and-out centre forward. An Ivan Toney, a frigging Adam Armstrong. I don't know who else would be linked with across from Europe. Frigging Diafra Sakho.
I get you, mate. I get you, but I think
actual centre forward.
I get you, but we haven't. I'll say it as I've said it all season. We don't have a centre forward.
If you had one,
Antonio's not
alongside Antonio. Problem is, and Yarmolenko, you know what? I'm
not
even joking.
Hold on. We've jumped ahead here. Let me go back to the first half again. Straight after they scored the goal, West Ham had a penalty shout. Matt, what did you think? I mean, Antonio was clattered in the box when the ball came into the area. Should it have gone to VAR? I mean, Stuart Atwell's decision straight away was no penalty, but what was your thinking?
I can understand why Stuart Atwell's given no, because it's an aerial tackle. It's an aerial challenge, see him all the time. For the life of me, I can't understand why VAR didn't look at it. Because not being funny, if that's on the floor, right? If that's on the floor and Antonio controls that and he went through the back of him, it'd be a penalty.
It would be a penalty, yeah.
Pogba got one today for Man United for less contact than that because it was on the floor, right? But it's almost like because it's in the air, it's an aerial challenge. Yeah, it's all right. Antonio controlled it on his chest and he's come through the back of him. But you know what? It doesn't surprise me because the decisions we've had most of this season have been absolutely crap. We've had a couple of times this season where decisions have gone for us. But, generally, the old school before VAR, the old school saying is, over a season they balance out. The point of VAR was, no, you don't need that now. You get decisions. I would say even with VAR, it's probably about 70-30 against us.
Exactly.
I think as well.
I would have said that would be a big 50-50, to be honest. I thought.
Decisions. Go back to the last 5 games. How many decisions
But what confuses me is why on earth didn't VAR look at that?
This is what I was about to say, right? If VAR looked and the guy in trouble went, no, it's not. You know what? We can sit here and be angry.
Why is it that VAR intervened when the ref didn't see anything? When Balbuena kicked the ball away and VAR intervened, and yet VAR didn't find any reason to, at the very least, say, go and have a look at that.
You know what? The thing is, if VAR looked at it and VAR said no, for me, in terms of the game of football, it's not a foul, we can sit here and be like, oh, it's penalty. But VAR said no, right? I've got no problem against that in the slightest, right? Do we probably deserve it? Probably not. But if VAR looked at it and went, we don't think it's a clear and concise error, because don't forget, that's supposed to be the standing point for VAR. It's supposed to be, is it a clear and concise error? And if the whoever's in Stockley Park at the VAR room went, look, I don't think that's clear and concise. I'm happy with the referee's decision, play on. We can sit here, if buts, moans, all we want, make a decision. They didn't look at it. Why are we paying them $100,000 a game?
Fuck knows.
That's why a Championship League One leagues who can't afford it, because it's somewhere stupid about $50,000 to $100,000 a game to run it. Why are we paying that when they're not looking at it?
They've not given us the penalty. It's crap, whatever. Get your comments in, let us know what your thoughts were. However, we did have a golden chance in the 39th minute. I think Fornals puts a ball on the plate to the back post to an unmarked Benrahma, and he directs his header back across goal and over the bar. Still, what do you think of that chance? And also, what do you think of Benrahma today?
Golden opportunity. He missed a sitter for me. And I think Benrahma was poor today, and that will be the last time you see Benrahma start a game this season. I really do think that.
Do you agree with that, Matt?
I'm not saying it because it's me saying I don't like Benrahma. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is Moyes will go. This is what I'm talking about. He keeps losing the ball. He's not hitting the target. It was a golden opportunity. He should have at least got it on target.
You know what? I don't want to say.
He had all the time in the world.
I kind of agree, because if you go back, right, and I've got time to do it, but I don't know if someone ever wants to do it. You go back and you run, right, a 50-50 split down the screen of Benrahma's chance today and Antonio's chance last week, right? They almost mirror image, except Antonio had to jump over the 2 players to win the header. Right, and he scored. Benrahma was almost under no pressure. He was at the back post, beyond the fullback.
No pressure.
He had all the time in the world, and he missed it. And if he doesn't start next week, like you said, there's that. The amount of times he gave Boy, yes, he run it back, but some of his past, let's not forget as well. I mean, it's later in the game, but essentially his poor touch ended Creswell's game. And Moyes looks at these things and goes, you know what? I bigged you up, I gave you the time, and then today you've let me down.
Yep.
So if he doesn't start next week, he will look back at this game today and go, you know what, that big chance in the first half, that could have literally flipped the game on its head.
Absolutely, Matt. 100%. Yeah.
I said at that moment, though, I was like, listen, we need to actually just get to half-time, because this game has got really nothing going about it. And just before that happened, that man himself, Manuel Lanzini, went down with an injury, and it looks like it was the end of his afternoon and could be the end of his season. That's when Jared Bowen came on as a substitution. At that point, though, we thought that was probably, maybe a little bit of a blessing in disguise. You don't want Lanzini to be injured, but a blessing in disguise to bring Bowen off the substitute bench and onto the park. But listen, in the first half, it never really made a difference. We went in 1-0 down, came out the second half, no changes, and the game just pretty much carried on from where it left off, didn't it, Matt?
Yeah, I think like Stel said, we thought maybe Bowen coming on might be a blessing in disguise, that he'd either really stretch the play out on the left-hand side and hug the touchline, or he'd go up front alongside Antonio. But he really didn't do... It's weird. He sort of came on, Fornals dropped back, and he sort of just took up the role with all three of the guys behind Antonio were playing, where as long as one of the three is roughly in the right position, you can all float around and do what you want. Look, I don't think anyone had a great game. I don't think Bowen had a bad game. I think he'd done what Moyes asked him to do, but it's just he didn't do much of muchness. He sort of got caught between two positions and didn't really do anything. And as much as we thought it was going to be a better option, it really wasn't.
Yeah. And then to make matters worse, and as we go into the second half, Creswell overstretches for a ball and pulls up with an injury. We don't know what his injury is. We don't know how serious it is. However, he did come off and Fredericks came on for him. And the injury curse is striking West Ham come to the most pivotal part of the season still, and how much that's going to affect us for the rest of the season. What's your thoughts?
Well, injuries have been affecting us all season, mate. We were patting ourselves on the back up until December, January, when we kind of surprisingly said, "Wow, we've had no injuries this season. Usually we're flooded with them." And then as soon as we all started saying that, we've had injury after injury after injury, and it's been no different for the past 6, 7, 8 weeks. Almost every game played, a player has gone out injured. Almost every game. And to actually lose two in the same game yet again. I mean, Moyes no longer has any selection difficulties, has he? Because he's got no players to select, and it has caught up with us. It has, and people are blaming board, or people are blaming whoever. It is what it is. Moyes did have an opportunity to strengthen the squad in December, and he decided not to in January. Sorry, but in a way, you can't blame. The squad has done well. The squad has done really, really well. Every time we've lost a player, someone has come in and put in a performance. Today just happened to not have been one of those days.
And we really needed that. We really needed that spark, and we thought we had it when Soufal drove forward from the right and tries to. It looks like it was maybe a cross-stroke shot that trickles all the way, hits the post, and Jared Bowen tries to jump over the keeper, and as he's in mid-air, the ball comes back to him, and he fluffs the opportunity. I mean, there's not much else he really could have done, to be honest, but that was really our golden chance to try and draw level, wasn't it? But we still couldn't even get it on target or cause.
No, mate. Our golden chance to be level was the Ben Rama header.
Ben Rama one.
In all honesty, and it's what Matt said. If that had gone in, we would have won that game.
I mean,
and
like
we
I
would
said,
have probably won it easy.
Even in the last 15, 20 minutes, if we'd have scored, we probably would have won. It was because Everton really ran out. Second half, I don't think they offered much at all. They had one chance when actually Lingard made a lung busting 50-yard run in the wrong direction to win that last-ditch tackle on a counter-attack. And apart from that,
there was one more. Was when Josh King came on and lit up the game.
First touch.
Yeah, first touch hit the post.
When he should have scored.
But listen, I mean, there's nothing else really to talk about in the game. The game itself finished 1-0 to Everton. It was one of those games, lads. Let's take a look at the Premier League table. I mean, it depends. There's loads of people in the chat, and there's a lot of yous that are all mixed opinions. Some of yous are saying that's it, Champions League dream is done, and a lot of other people are saying it's not done. How can you say it's done when there's still three games to play?
It's done.
I don't agree, Matt, and I'm not there, mate. I am not there by a million miles. I'm not there.
I think Champions League is done.
The only argument I'm going to make, right, is that you're saying we're going to win all three games unless they aren't going to win one.
I'm not saying that we're going to win all three games. I'm going by what people like yourself. But what Stell said. What Stell said was, and I'm just jumping on his comment from earlier in the season. I think we can win our last three games. We're definitely capable of winning our last three games. If we win them, we put ourselves in that mix. And like you said, mate, we're 5 points behind Leicester, with 9 points to play for.
If we win 2 and lose 1, they need 1 point from their last 3 games because we're 10 goals worse.
Do you know what that's done? What this has done is, I'm not even thinking about any other team around us. It's opened the door for Liverpool. That's what it's done.
That's what I was about to say as well. There are 2 points behind us.
Yeah.
Is it 1 or 2 points behind us with a game in hand?
And they've got an easy running.
And Man United, I'm sorry, it's the way it's worked out is just absolutely a typical West Ham. Their fans went and protested, And then the Premier League have wedged it into Man United. They've got 4 games in 11 days or something stupid. You know, Man United played today, then they've got Leicester on Tuesday, then they've got Liverpool on Wednesday. So that's 2 of our competitors they're playing against.
Yeah.
There's no way they're getting 6 points from them 2 games.
But let's be brutally honest, though.
Us.
One thing we have to consider is we always knew that this was never going to be easy. We always know the Premier League is full of surprises, and nobody expected someone like Newcastle to turn up and defeat Leicester at home 4-2 away from home, and nobody expected West Ham to go ahead and get beat from Leicester after coming off several good victories. The season is all over the shop.
The thing is, though, mate, we've done this now a couple of times to ourselves where other games have gone in our favour, and it's like, we can push on. Yeah. And I think the last time, I think we could have gone third and we kind of messed that up. Yep. And then this time we could have, a bit closer to fourth and we messed it up. Every time it seems, maybe Matt's right. Maybe the pressure is too much for the team. I mean, we all look relaxed and we've all seen the videos. We need a game to
play first is what we need.
Yeah.
We need the Friday night or the Saturday morning game because every week.
And this is the thing that Moyes has alluded to. Yeah, this is the thing Moyes has alluded to. Moyes has said, we're always seeming to play after everybody else, which kind of puts the pressure on. I wonder if that's true. We always seem to be playing after everyone else has played. And the only reason why we didn't play, after Man U Liverpool is because it was postponed, And I just wonder if it is true. It puts the pressure on. I know that sounds like, conspiracy theories and stuff like that. But it is interesting that we always seem to be the last of the top 6 to be playing our game.
We are.
Listen, the thing is, though, it is a massive week. I'm still not calling it. I'm still not saying it's done. I refuse to accept that. And the thing is, you're going to get 50% of the fan base all split in this decision. Big week. Man United turn up, beat Leicester, beat Liverpool. West Ham going into the next game, get a victory within 2 points. Leicester have got a crazy running and they don't want it on the form that they're in. It's still there. I'm not holding every single bit of hope on it, but whilst it's still there and there's an opportunity, then I'm going to grab it. I'm going to grab it with 2 hands, and I think that's what Moyes will be saying to the team. And you know what?
I'm distracted by Trev's comments.
I know, I was just laughing.
Today was like drunk sex. She finished early and closed up shop there after I could only muster a demoralising no chance of penetration. I went through the motions, got nowhere, ran out of ideas. Trev, mate, you have nailed that right on the head, mate. Right on the head. The thing is, though, I mean,
you want to not on the head, Anton. You could say something different.
No, that's no. It makes.
You don't want to nail it on the head when he's talking about sex.
Yeah, you do. That's why I'm making reference to it. Listen, I want to come back to the Ben Rama debate. What we do know from David Moyes is unpredictability in team selections. The funny thing, though, is when it comes to the next game, I actually see that is the game that Ben Rama needs to start rather than the game that he has started today.
Yeah, there's the irony.
I would say that he got quite lucky. He's been quite lucky in the fact that, because I've been on the team yesterday, we've done predictions. I said it'd be one of Ben Rama Lanzini that would get dropped for Rice. I think because he's now injured, Lanzini's injured, he's only starting. That's a couple of weeks. He won't play again this season. It gives Rice his going to slot straight back in.
Rice will be back next game.
He'll slot straight back in.
Yeah.
Moyes now hasn't got to worry about dropping someone. And to be honest, look, Bowen didn't exactly do... Bowen huffed and puffed, but he didn't offer anything different to what Ben Rama did. That's the only thing I would say.
Hang on. What Bowen missed? Bowen was not in a position to really...
he was hurdling the goalkeeper.
Jumping over the keeper. So you can't really call that a miss, can you? It's just like...
On his wrong foot as well. I know what
I agree with Nigel's. I agree with Nigel's comment here. We should celebrate competing this season than look at what it could have been, because we're still there. We're still competing.
Absolutely.
And that's what it does.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think the disappointment is that our expectation has got so high. Yeah. And you do sort of in the back of your mind, you do wonder, are we going to be in this position next season? And because
I don't know, mate, because I mean, I'm going to take a lot of the comments that you've made through this,
I don't think
what did I make?
Still, you are sounding like a contradictory, hypocritical fan when you're talking. 1 minute you're saying I'm not being horrible here. I'm not being horrible. I'm just judging what you say week in and week out. You go with the emotions as a West Ham fan. When we win, you are flying mighty fucking high, and when we lose, you are like, holy shit, we are heading back the way. And
not
you
at
make
all,
comments. Listen,
not
no,
at
wait.
all,
No,
not
I'm
at
not
all.
saying you say relegation, but you do say on a regular occasion that I don't think this is a one-off season. You
I
have said
think
that
it is.
plenty of times.
I don't think it is, and I'm hoping it ain't going to be a one-off season. I don't think it is because we've seen something completely different from David Moyes in the way he's built this squad up. And interestingly, if you've noticed, you know, when we talk about the team for most part of this season, we've been talking about the squad, not about the first 11. Whereas in like 5 years ago, 2015-16 season, we were talking about one player and how we collapsed when Payet left. We're now talking about a squad, and I think it's great. So I do hope that it's going to continue to be like this next season. But you know, we're within a whisker away of Champions League, and I guess we kind of I guess you know, I just wonder if we're going to be that close. I reckon we'll be competing for Europe next season, but I don't know if we'll be competing for the Champions League next season. You know, Zach, if Benrahma missed the Bowen chance, you wouldn't be as forgiving.
You know what? I'm going to jump on this.
I don't think that's true, Zach. I
think to an extent it is true, but there's a reason for it. Bowen's left-footed, and as he's hurdled the goalkeeper, it hit his right foot. Right? Benrahma's right-footed. So had Benrahma been in that position, it would have fallen on his stronger foot. Right? But then again, if that was him, he might have scored. It was a half chance. Someone else said it here. Like, you know, it was a half chance the ball didn't drop for him. It didn't.
Listen, something else I want to talk to about. Coming into near the end of the game, big changes were made with the West Ham squad, and we saw Soufal and Bowen switch completely over to the left-hand side. And I thought, to be honest, from what I saw from Soufal on the left-hand side, I actually thought he held his ground really well. And if Creswell
to come for the last 3 games, mate.
If Creswell is out, it could be the fact that he slots in there, and you might see
him and Fredericks on the right hand side.
Yeah, Fredericks on the right hand side. And when Fredericks was on, I mean, he's got the ability to create pace down that side and offer us something a little bit different. You know,
you might actually see Soufal and Fredericks as wing backs.
Yeah,
I actually felt sorry for Fredericks when he came on because he done all right on the left hand side when he came on, and then Yarmolenko came on, and I said, you know, a couple of years back when they first came in. We watched the pre-season games. They both played together, and they looked really like lethal down that right hand side because you had Yarmolenko cutting in and Fredericks going around the outside of him. But when Fredericks came on today, and he went onto that back to the right hand side when Yarmolenko come on. I'm sorry, Yarmolenko was absolutely awful. I don't know if you remember. There was a point when Fredericks actually overlapped him. I might have even been there, and like, Yarmolenko kicked the ball 2 yards to no one, lost it, and then made the foul. And it was like no point. At least when Soufal went on the left-hand side and was linking up with Benrahma, whether he overlapped or just dropped back, they were still linking up. But at no point did Yarmolenko ever find Fredericks to put a ball in.
Yep.
Yeah, this is it. That comment. The one
Sorry,
you up.
put that back up.
That one from Tony. Where is it?
That one there.
Yeah.
That's the thing. That's what it comes down to. It comes down to a bit of Ancelotti playing very simple, basic game.
Moyes.
Yeah. Yep.
He did.
Sometimes, probably is right. I've said this at the start. Sometimes we come on here and we're angry and frustrated and disappointed because we've played badly. We haven't turned up. We've got the tactics wrong, this and that. They were the better team. We might have had 68% possession. We didn't have a shot on target. Doesn't matter how much possession you have if you do nothing with it. We've played games this season and we've had 32% possession, but we've had like 15 shots and 10 on target or something. Like, it doesn't matter how much possession you have in this. Possession is only, 9/10 of the law, but you need to shoot. You need to score. You have to have shots on target. No point, and
Gary, no, I've not. Sorry, Matt. I've not, mate. I've not been that well. I've not been that well.
He's been a bit ill.
Well, listen. We could sit here and talk all day. Still, what's the schedule? What day are we on Sunday? So you've got your West Ham Weekly tomorrow evening. We have West Ham Daily tomorrow afternoon. So let me run it down the schedule the proper way. West Ham Daily tomorrow afternoon, 1:15 p.m.ish. We've then got the West Ham Weekly tomorrow night. Still usually aims for 8:30. Probably will come on at 9:30. Yeah, that's tomorrow. Tuesday, we will have another West Ham Daily, followed by the West Ham Player Rating Show. Make sure you join Matt and Jake at 7 o'clock on Tuesday. But, that brings an end to our review. I mean, I don't really know if I've got it in me to talk further.
I don't know what
this
else
one
was to say. It was a flat performance. We didn't shoot on. We didn't have one shot on target. They hit us on the break, and they shut up shop.
Yeah.
But the only thing we can say is that we go again next week. What day is it? What day are we playing next week?
We now
Saturday.
need Man United to do us a favour and beat Liverpool.
So we're actually playing on Saturday for
us,
once, Sunday or a Monday. We play Saturday night away at Brighton. We had two of their more influential players sent off today, so neither of them will be playing next week.
We are one. We need to beat them.
Lewis Dunk and Malpai, and we've never beaten Brighton in the Premier League. And for once, it looks like all the stuff's going towards West Ham getting a win next week.
Anton, you were at the stadium when we drew 3-3. Were you there on that one for that one when we drew 3-3?
We drew 3-3 at home. That was a home game.
When we were winning 3-1,
we were winning 3-1.
Came on, and I
last season.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
That was last season, wasn't it? Our golden opportunity
season
to break our duck against.
That was before the lockdown.
Listen, we're starting to ramble. Before I go, make sure you check in the comments. I've put the link to footballprizes.co.uk/product/decanio/ click the link. That takes you over to our channel sponsor, Football Prizes, who are in the process of giving away, if you pay £4.95 for a raffle ticket. Raffling off, £4.95 for a ticket. There is 99 tickets available and 60 have been sold, no matter what this top is going. So if it stops as it is, there's 5 days, 15 minutes to go till the draw is made live on the Facebook page. And 60 tickets are sold. So you've got currently a 1 in 60 chance of winning this top. The max tickets that can be sold are 99. So make sure you jump across there and purchase a ticket. Anyway,
and Sean, no, I won't be doing a video. I did hear it earlier on when you were doing the preview.
And I was going to say, make sure when you register that you put in you come from here. When you register,
absolutely, Tell them.
When you register, it asks where you heard about the website from. You can put YouTube channel, drop our name in, helps us out a little bit.
That'd be nice. Thank you.
Takes a few seconds to do it. I done it yesterday.
And also, there will be different prizes each week as well. So that's the other cool thing about it. We're not just going to oversubscribe with the Pillow Decanio. Each week will be a different prize. Anyway, what a disappointing day at the office. West Ham's chances of Champions League football are hanging in the balance. Matt, mate, it's not gone, mate. It's not gone. It's not gone. They're dangling. They're dangling there. It's dangling there. So, like I said, thank you very much for joining us. Very much appreciated.
How many beers did you drink today, Matt?
3.
Only 3. No wonder we
bottles, though.
No wonder we didn't score.
Bottles.
However,
I don't condone. And you only drank 3.
I don't condone forced people to drink. So apologies for Stells. Terrible. If anyone from underage is looking, we certainly don't condone being forced to drink alcohol.
Mate. He's not watching. Jake's in bed.
Listen. I've been Anton. He's been Matt. This has been Stell. This review's gone the same way the West Ham game gone today.
Down the toilet.
Thanks for watching. Come on, you Irons.